All right, so it says I'm live. Always weird with Facebook Lives. You always start talking and then half of that gets cut off. Look, I've got a tip for you for some awesome sort of progress you can make in the new year, which doesn't involve New Year's resolutions, because there's a reason that New Year's resolutions don't work. A made up statistic of the time. I could do anything, couldn't I? 75% of the time, but they really don't. There's a reason for that. We're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk a little about the spin recovery course that I run. Very small groups, guys, 12-week course. The next one boards 26th of January. It's a Sunday. And we're going to talk about the great tip I have for you now, which would be really cool, using this. It's a record card. They look like this. Okay, if you go and get yourself some of these, I guarantee that in the new year, whatever you're planning on doing is going to have a huge success rate. Okay, so whether it's giving up chocolate or alcohol or going to the gym, whatever it is, these little bad boys, and I'm going to show you one here and how they work in a minute. Okay, it's quite impressive stuff. Very, very simple tip, but really, really effective. And of course, that's what FJP is all about, isn't it? Is these tips. If you can see me and you are liking this or whatever, can you just tell me whether this thing has been reversed? Is this card reading the correct way? It should be. Hopefully that's one of those things. There's a little poll up there as well. It shouldn't take more than about 20 minutes. A little poll up there just saying, are you planning on any New Year's resolutions or not? Okay, I'm not at all, because I'm doing it differently, and I have been for the last couple of weeks, and it's all about habits, processes, and systems that I've built into my life, okay, to make things more applicable for me, okay, make things easier for me to get where I want, because I don't believe in goals. And I know that some people find that really, really hard to understand, why I wouldn't be goal oriented, okay? I'm not goal oriented, I'm habit oriented, because goals, if you pick a goal, what people tend to do, and this is why New Year's resolutions tend to not work, guys, as you know, is you tend to pick a goal, and it's a massive one, and it's too big for your brain to understand. It's too much of a change. Now, if we go back to Team Sky, the racing team, the bike team, cycling team, when Dave Brailsford was running it, he had something called the aggregation of marginal gains. I know some of you have read about this in essays that I've written before, but marginal gains, this is where we have very small little things that when you add them up, all those 0.1%, they add up into a really, really big deal, okay? And that's where you make your change, because your brain is forward into thinking it's only making small changes in minor areas of your life. And what actually happens, of course, is you have this huge improvement, and all of a sudden people tell you that you're looking thinner, you're healthier, you're more bouncy, whatever it might be, okay? And it's all because you've made all these small things. Now we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about these record cards. Right, before we do that, guys, I've got some show notes down here, as I said. I use this in the spin recovery course that I run for 12 weeks, okay? As I said, courses of 6 plus me, group accountability. It's mindset, motivation, and accountability in the spin recovery course. I can send you some details on that. Some of you already asked. I've got a couple places left on the one on the 26th of January. So if you're interested, I'll drop a link below at some point. I've got my page up here, so when this finishes I'll put a link down there, and I'll put a couple of links, one that tells you more about the course and one that gets you literally an email to me. You know where I am, Tim of Fast Performance anyway. You know, I know you guys, we all know each other, and if you want to come on that course, then by all means. Now the reason it starts on the 26th of January, guys, and not on the 1st, 26th is a Sunday, is because I want you to make your resolutions, and I want you to run those resolutions for a couple of weeks, and I want you to feel that struggle that we all feel in the new year. We're keeping it because you've made a resolution that is too big for your mind to handle, okay? That's the whole point, all right? Thanks, Jake, for saying it's all reading okay. I really appreciate that. Okay, so that's the key. So go ahead and make those resolutions, all right? Trip, stumble, knowing the fact that at the end of the month, there's somewhere you can come, okay, with me and another 5 people, okay, and you can get your mindset, your motivation, and your accountability all sorted out for the next 3 months. Think about the power that's going to drag you into the summer with, all right? And that's why this course is starting on the 26th of January. Spin recovery then, what is it about? Right, it's about challenging transitionary processes, okay? That's the whole point. It's periods in your life when you're going from one place to another, and the new year is normally a great signal of that, as I'm sure everyone's aware. Of course we all are. We all try and make those changes, and then we wonder by the summertime why those things haven't actually worked. So what is it? Why is it called spin recovery, I hear you ask, and you're right to ask that, and I will now explain it for you. The spin. Thanks, Julian, saying it was all the wrong way up. Really like that. Right, so here we go. Right, spin. What is it? What do you do in a spin? Okay, a lot of us obviously have been involved in aviation. People still are. Well, a spin is a very difficult thing to be in an aircraft, okay? It's very, very disruptive. It's very difficult to work out which way around you're going, how fast you're going down. In the Tornado, we spun the Tornado, which you never do. You're descending at about 20,000 feet per minute. It's huge, and it's irrecoverable in the Tornado, okay, pretty much. So, and you surge both engines anyway. The Hawk obviously does spin again. The Tucano spun upside down. Why would you do that? But again, we teach it to students, or we used to teach it to students to give them confidence in that. So what happens in a spin then? What's the first thing that happens in a spin? In a spin recovery, the first thing we do before anything else is we check the height we're at. The first thing you do, check height. Okay. The reason we check height is because we're spinning below a certain height, especially in fast jets. You just got to get out. There's no recovery. There's no recovery at all. I think it was 10,000 feet in the Tornado. Below 10,000 feet, the jet's descending so fast, you got to get out. All right, you got to go. So that's the first thing we do, is we check height. And in the spin recovery course, that's the first thing we do. All right, is we're looking at where you are right now. So let's talk about spin. What is spin recovery for? If we think about the SPIN in spin recovery, all right, it's about low self-esteem. Okay, it's for people that have a lack of purpose. All right, it makes sense. It's a lack of identity. And then it's people that are wrapped up in a whole mire of negativity, okay? And that is, that's a lot of people out there, as we know. That's why people come into the course. So we're in a spin now. Think about this. Hugely disruptive. What you do first, you check the height, because you say, right, stop. What is going on, okay? Is this recoverable? Is this recoverable or not? Or do I need some really serious help, okay? The next thing you do then is you bring that throttle back to idle, because all that energy that propeller is putting out, the engine's putting out, is contributing for you being in that spin. Does that make sense? So think about what you're doing in your life now that's driving you in those wrong directions or in those bad habits. And we've all done it. We're all doing it, by the way. Don't get me wrong, especially overeating over Christmas, drinking too much. I get all that. We all know it, all right? We all know it. We've all been there. We're there now. So have a think about that. What are you doing now that is continuing to drive you down the path that you don't want to be in next Christmas? All right? And if you don't do something about it now, you're going to be back there next Christmas. We know that. I know that. You know that. Because over the last year, I could see where I was, and I've made some changes, and now I'm not there anymore. That's really important, okay? Good. So what are we doing? We're throttle idle. We take that energy away from us, okay? Slow everything down a little bit so we can work out what's going on. Stop what you're doing. Stop putting all that thrust and energy into the wrong direction. That's what's happening in a spin. What's the next thing we do then? Here, centralized controls, okay? Become centered. Understand who you are. A really important part of the spin recovery process, spin recovery course, is just working out where you are now. All right, that's all it is. Who are you now? Okay, you're in a good place, you're in a bad place. Could you be in a better place? Makes sense. Who are you? How are you contributing to your own demise? Then you apply anti-spin controls. Okay, so now we're going to start doing something positive. I mean, I'm going to talk about these record cards in about 30 seconds, guys. That's the top tip right there. So what are we doing? We're going to apply anti-spin controls to get us out of this spin. Then we're going to make, obviously, the small positive changes. We're going to recover from the dive. Right. So how does spin recovery course then, what does it do? It kind of emulates that. And how does it do that? Well, here's the thing. SPIN, the first thing we're going to do is stop. That's right. We're going to stop all these bad things we're doing, all this negativity we're talking about ourselves, all right? We're going to stop all of that straight away in a group setting. Yeah, you put your hand up and say, I'm being a dick because of this. And everyone's like, don't worry about it, dude. That's not half the stuff I'm doing. You're in a really great place. That's why it's great to be in this group. That's why the group dynamic and the group accountability is where you do it. Now, when I do a lot of counseling with people, I do a lot of coaching with people one-on-one. It is more effective for everyone to be in a group, which is why this spin recovery course is running. And it is cheaper, by the way, doing it this way than it is on a one-on-one session with me. It is. Now, it's a 4-figure course. Of course it is. You know, I'm taking you through 12 weeks of multiple hours during those weeks. And if you're getting up at 5 a.m. on a run, I'm going to be there with you. That's the whole point. Okay. It's group accountability. Okay. If you don't want to be up at 5 in the morning with someone else on a run, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to be there for you. And that's how it works. So here we're doing, well, the first thing, stop. We're going to get some clarity. That's what we're going to do, is get some clarity. That's fine. We're just going to talk about it, get some clarity in the group. All right. We're not promising to do anything. We're not going to change the world here. We're just looking at where we are. Like, we're checking our height in the spin. That makes sense? We're just checking the height. That's all we're doing. Just checking the height. That's it. That's the first thing. And when we're in a spin in an aircraft, we check the height. If I'm below 10,000 feet in a Tornado, I'm out of there. That's fine. I'm gone. So that's cool. It's black and white. What's the next thing we're going to do then? SPIN. The next P is for plan. So we stopped. P, plan. All we're doing, we've got 12 weeks for this, people, 12 weeks to make this change. And that's why it is 12 weeks, because it's incremental marginal gains. All right. Makes sense? We're planning now. What does planning mean? It means we get a focus. We're going to start focusing on what real tangible change we can make in these 12 weeks. Okay, it's quite a deep course. It has to be deep. All right, it has to be deep because it's an honest course. It's about authenticity, integrity. It's about self. Okay, it's about service to yourself and your family. That's why I built the course up. All right, I don't apologize for that. Okay, it's quite a deep course. Has to be deep course. What's the next one? SP. Okay, so we've stopped. We're planning. I. All right, initiate. Now, this is what we're doing. We're going to initiate it. We're going to do something about this. We're going to take action. Now, I remember I had a friend and he had written an app. We're going to cover the end in a second. He written an app, and I remember saying to him, "Hey, what's your app about?" And he wouldn't tell me. He said, "It's an idea. I've got an idea for an app." I said, "What's it about?" He said, "I'm not going to tell you." And I remember saying to him at the time, "Look, everyone's got ideas. Yeah, it's not. I've got ideas. I'm not going to do anything with them. That's the point. So, because to do something with an idea is really hard. So you can tell everyone. You're like at Airlist, we tell everyone about Airlist, all right? Because who's going to copy it? It's such a hard thing to do. It needs a lot of action, and a lot of action needs a lot of energy, and a lot of energy takes a lot of people. Hence, why the group is of 6. If that makes sense. There's 6 people in the spin recovery group because you need that group accountability. You need people pushing you and saying, "Look, buddy, you can do this." Yes, you haven't run a mile in 20 years. That's all right. That's all right, because there'll be someone in the group who's the same, and both of you are getting up at 6 in the morning. Both of you are putting shoes on, and both of you are just running 100 meters and running 100 meters back. Both of you are doing that, okay? Because you're waking up at the same time. You're holding each other to account. It's action. It's the initiation of your plan in a controlled environment with people that care about you, people that are able to help you out, and people that are able to drive you forward. That's what the spin recovery is for. What's the end for, you're saying? So remember that we've stopped, yeah? Remember, we've stopped. We've got a plan now. We're initiating that plan, and now the N is taking us to our new normal, because we used to be this person, didn't we? And now we're going to be this person. We used to be this guy that did all this, and now we're going to be this guy that does all this, and that's going to be after 12 weeks. And here's the great thing about the spin recovery plan itself. The spin recovery process is once you've finished it, you go into a group. It's a Facebook group. All this is done on Zoom, by the way. It's all done on Zoom. So it's all like this, like we're doing now. This is on Facebook, obviously. But the group you go into is only accessible for spin recovery members, which means more spin recovery members come into the group. Obviously, there's some people there already. All right. And then you can share. You can move forward together. It's a secret group. Secret, I've told you about it, but you can't find it on Facebook. You can't search for it. You can't do anything else. Anything you say, whatever is in the group, when you know that the people have gone through the same thing that you've gone through before, that's the whole point of it. No one else is in there if they haven't done the spin recovery. No one else is in there. Okay. I'm in the group, you're in the group, and everyone's helping each other out. Okay. I'm looking like a close-knit team of people that actually want to make tangible change, real tangible change in their lives. None of this kind of, I've got a New Year's resolution and I'm going to stop eating cake. Yeah, fuck that. Sorry, swore. Facebook going to ban me. Cards, people. Now so we talk about a lot of things in spin recovery. There's a load of stuff in there, a load of stuff I've written, loads of stuff that obviously I've got from other people that we put in. I've got other people that come and talk to us in the group, friends of mine, all this kind of stuff. But here's the thing about this. This is one little thing. We use one little thing, okay? Little thing. If you want to go and get yourself some record cards, they come in a big pack. I got some colored ones here, guys. This is a great tip, by the way. I would use this tip. Don't do resolutions. Use this, and it'd be 10 times better. So look at these. These are from Ryman's in the UK, whatever. Staples probably do them as well. They're, let's have a look what they are. 6x4. Can you read that there? 6x4. These ones have about 14 lines on the card. You get different colors. I couldn't care less. About 14 lines on the card down here. Now, the lines are reasonably important. The lines are reasonably important, and I'm going to tell you why now once I get some tea on. Mr. Happy Mug, positivity, eh? Get my tea on. Because on this card, you're going to draw some lines. You're going to need some cards because you're going to make some habit changes, not some resolution changes. No one cares about resolutions because they're going to fail, because they always fail. But habits don't. Habits, processes, systems. Okay? This is what we're going to do. So you're going to get some pens. I would get a black pen, and I'd probably get a red. I've got a blue because my wife took the red to her clinic. Brilliant. And I'd get a ruler. Okay. So when you're in, you're going to go and buy, I would buy these. It's not cheap, is it? Buy some cards. You can get these on Amazon probably. A ruler, and just get a batch of pens. Get the blue, the green, the blue, and black, blue, green, and red. These are felt pens. They can be real heavy. They can be heavy pens. It doesn't matter. Big felt pens. What are we doing? What we're doing then is we're going to draw a grid. Now, here's an example here of a grid I've drawn. So I'm going to try and make this as clear as possible, guys. On the top there, it says 30-minute daily exercise. So this is an example here, okay? You're going to try and exercise every single day for 30 minutes, and you're going to do that for 49 days. Now, why 49 days? I hear you cry. Well, to form a new habit, there's a variation on what people think it takes to actually create a new habit. Some people will say it takes 21 days. I've always said 21 days plus 8. So do 21 days, hit it with another 8 just to reaffirm that. But it doesn't really work for everyone. And it also doesn't work if you're trying to give up some kind of addictive substance or anything like that, okay? Most addictive substances are out of your body within 6 days, but it's that kind of thing here, isn't it? All right, it's that thing in your brain that's there, that's going, this is wiping me out. And even though you have none of that substance in your body anymore after about 5-6 days, for some reason, that can make you miserable. Just look at alcoholics, look at people that give them nicotine. I've done that myself. It can make you miserable for life. It doesn't have to, okay? Because in this course, we talk about choices. Okay, we don't talk about things being diseases. By the way, I do help out people that have had issues with alcohol. I help out people with all these kind of addictive things. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want to talk about someone that's had problems with alcohol, you can talk to me. Okay, I do, and I'm quite open about my struggles. Okay, I always have been. All right. So coming out of the military, someone contacted me a week, I think it was, a mate of mine, and he said he'd read something that I'd written saying the beers don't leave you when you leave the military, and that is very, very true. I posted an article recently about veteran isolation, issues with that. Yeah, it's real, believe me. You come out of a really busy squadron where you're flying and it's purposeful, and then you leave that behind. Wow, it's a massive shock. Okay, so you can talk to me about the beers in the evening. So I've got one of these cards and it says no drinking at home. Yeah, just every day, tick it off. Didn't drink at home tonight. When you work from home, I do a lot of working from home. It's very easy, isn't it, to get into that, get your smash on in the evening. So you got to look after yourself, right? It's about accountability. So it's about making choices. So this is what we're doing here. We're being realistic with ourselves. Now, what are we going to do with this card, guys? This is me to you. I want you to do this. I don't necessarily want everyone to come in the spin recovery course. We do a clarity call with me anyway for about 20 minutes. And some people I have to reject. Some people reject themselves. Okay, so I'm more than happy people want to reject themselves. Honestly, look, this is a really simple way of doing this. And if you don't use this, it doesn't matter. But you might have someone else in your life, in your family, and you can recommend this to. All right, and honestly, this is powerful stuff. Okay, it's called the X effect. The X effect. All right, now, simple, guys. Okay, all you're doing is drawing 7 lines down the side here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Notice I'm using the bottom row as well. Yeah, so I think there's 15 lines on here on this particular card. You can get smaller cards, you can get bigger cards. It doesn't matter. This one kind of suits me. I just put this on the wall. You know what I'm saying? So just draw 7 lines down there, and then you're drawing 6 across to make 7 columns. That makes sense. 7 by 7. Yeah, all good. 49. So really, we're saying now to form a habit is about 60 days. This is what we reckon. Some people are saying, as I said, 28 days, 21, 28. Someone said 36. This takes you up to 49 days. Now, for small habits, remember, these are small incremental habits. This isn't necessarily like don't drink forever. That's a bigger one. And, mentally, 49 days might not be enough for you. All right, so let's not be dicks about it, okay? We're talking about things like not biting my nails, or whatever it might be, or exercising every day, or not drinking at home, or going for an hour's walk, or even reading. These things can be used. I'm going to read for 20 minutes every day, all right? And the idea being here, what you can do is you number off the days. I've started mine here at January 26th, or this demo one, January 26th. Why have I done that? Because that's the start date of the next spin recovery, guys. If you don't call me now, I'm going to hit you in the new year anyway when your resolutions fail and say, why don't you jump into this thing? All right. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. 26th January. Now, if you labeled it 26, 27, 28, it goes all the way along, all the way through February. And this takes you down here to February the 14th. You see what's happening there? February the 14th, by Valentine's Day, you can have changed a habit in your life by using a piece of paper, a couple of pens, and a ruler. Now, what you do, I know what you're saying. Don't overcomplicate this, because it's not something to overcomplicate. It's right on there. Don't write what your goal is. Don't write to lose 20 pounds. No one cares about your goals. Goals don't work. We know that. It's habits. Habits work. You're trying to change your life every day. You're not trying to get to a goal. This is why diets don't work. This is why you see these girls. My Instagram feed at the moment is crazy. I don't know what it is with these girls dancing in TikTok videos. You click on one of them and 10,000 of them pop up. What is going on? And there's no way of getting rid of them either. It's awful. So this is what, you know, I think my nieces are doing this now as well. They're just 17-year-old nieces. This is what you do. 30 minutes daily exercise. It's a habit. It's a process. It's a system you built in. Keep it simple. Don't write anything else. Don't put anything on the back. You can write notes on the back if you really want to. Couldn't care less. But here's the thing. It's just 30-minute daily exercise. It doesn't say you've got to do it in the gym. It doesn't say you've got to do it out in your garden. I hit my patio. I hit the garden down there. I get wet, dirty. I hit the garage. I sometimes go to the gym. Sometimes I do an hour. Sometimes I do an hour. Sometimes I do 15 minutes in the morning and then 15 minutes later on, you know? And here's the thing, guys. I'm an honest guy. And the course is about being honest. And here's the thing about the spin recovery course, okay? It is about being honest. Don't waste your time. It's like, as a pilot, when I went to the doctor, I told him everything because I don't want to get messed up in the air and fly into another airplane. I'm always honest with my doctor. Okay, and spin recovery is exactly the same. The idea being here is you're honest on this thing. If you don't do the day, you don't cross it off. If you do the day, you cross it off. So let's pretend 26th. I'm like, there's someone's coming to spin recovery. They want to do 30 seconds. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, get your pen. And it can be, I'd suggest a massive red pen. Wife stole the pen. So all you're doing is you're just crossing off the days. Whenever you do it, you're crossing off the days. How simple is that? And the whole thing is, it fills up. All these days fill up. And then what happens is you get this X effect. The X effect is when you start looking back and you're like, I don't want to miss a day. No, you don't want to miss a day because you want to complete your card. So now you've got to start thinking. Remember we talked about initiate or your plan. We talked about the plan. It's like, what if I'm somewhere where I can't do exercise? And think, well, what does that mean? What does it mean you can't do exercise? Are you ill? Well, that's fair enough. If you're ill, it doesn't matter. That's all good. You can't do exercise. But can you do something that is like exercise? So I stay in London quite a lot. I'm at the Royal Air Force Club, Cavalry and Guards. What is ever that Scottish club as well? It's Caledonian, a bit weird. Fine. Sometimes I'm not with my gym kit. I'm down there and someone says, we're going to continue this meeting in the morning. I'm like, hell, I'm going to do gym stuff. Fine. So what do? Well, I can work out in my room, go and download one of those 15-minute Joe Wicks videos and do it twice. But we've planned for it, so we're not going to fail. And we're going to put another X, thank you very much, in the card. So these cards are really powerful. Now, how many cards do you want to run at once? That's up to you, isn't it? That's up to you. But I really want you to think about the goals you've got for next year. I really want you to think about the resolutions you're thinking about putting out. And are they achievable? I mean, think about SMART goals. We all know that. You know, we know what SMART goals are. You know, we're not going to change the world. And if your resolution is too big, guys, it's not going to work for you. And it's going to make you feel worse. And then by this time next year, you're going to say, hey, Tim, can I do the spin recovery? And I'm like, well, yeah, but you wasted a year. You know that, don't you? Okay, I just want to, you know, I'm not saying jump into the course, guys. I can't accommodate everyone anyway. You know, I can't, of course I can't. So that's what I'm talking about there. So remember, spin. So we're going to stop, aren't we? That's what the spin recovery is about. We're going to stop. We're going to plan. We're going to initiate that plan, okay, as we all know, and then we're going to go to our new normal. We're going to visualize what the new normal is. Mindset, motivation, and group accountability. Right. I'm looking down the comments now. I've got some here. If anyone wants to ask anything direct. I hope, Andy, yep, thanks so much. Not reverse, brilliant. I love it. Yeah, thank you, idiots. Right, excellent. So nothing constructive in the comments then, which is always a bonus, isn't it? Brilliant, I love that. That's great. Look, what I'm going to do in those comments now, I'm going to drop a link in. It gives you some guides, ideas, a little film on there if you are interested in this. And in fact, this page here, if you do click on the bottom, in fact, let me send you the one that's actually, drives. In fact, here's the thing. There's an ebook I wrote. It's about self-sabotage. You can download that. That's all free. It's got a little video of me going, hey guys, welcome to the spin recovery. And it gives you more information on that. You don't have to do anything with it. What it will do is if you click the ebook though, it gives you about 5 emails, I think it is. And you can then read those emails and it gives you more information on the course, which makes sense. There we go. I've got a link for you now. I'll drop it like it's hot in the comments down here. At least you get an ebook anyway. And just by all means, get the ebook, have a read of it. It'll take about 5 minutes. It's got a little video there playing as well. And then it gives you some idea. In the emails, you get 4 emails. Anyone at any time, click the links down the bottom. You know, either jump on a call with me, it'll be a Skype thing probably, or it takes you to read more about the course, if that makes sense. Don't forget, a lot of this stuff anyway, I say a lot of the stuff, I do try and drop stuff into the Patreon. My time at the moment is a bit of a nightmare at the moment, guys. I'm sure you're aware. Right, link's gone in at the bottom there. You can go there. It takes you to an Infusionsoft page, which helps you out with that. Right. So these are the cards. You could probably make these yourself, but it's just nice knowing you've got a stack of cards. I wouldn't run more than 3 of these at a time. And you can stagger the start. You know, when you start making progress in one like this, You're like, you know what? I am exercising 30 minutes every day. This is part of my routine. It's part of my life now. And we talked about this before, haven't we? We've said, put your training shoes by your front door. And if you're trying to go for a run every morning, just walk to the pub at the end of the road and walk back. Yeah. Just we try to build a habit. You're getting your body into it. It's not like I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to run for 8 miles. Yeah. That's not going to work out for you. And that's the problem with resolutions. That's the problem with resolutions. All right. Think Dave Brailsford, think Team Sky. Anything else you need, guys, Tim Fast Performance, you know where I am. I'll try and drop some more content in the new year, all right? But either way, a couple of days to New Year, 2020, year of clarity and clear vision, all right? So that's one of the themes then we're going to be doing in 12 Moors and through Fast Performance as well. I'll try and drop some more airless content about what's happening with the airplanes as well at some point over the new year. But I do wish you the best, all right, for New Year. And I don't want you stumbling in there and upsetting yourself if you're not able to get all those kind of goals sorted out, because just remember, I'm telling you, it's not about goals. All right. It's not about goals. It's the small incremental changes you make in your life that just improve you in many, many different ways. That stops your brain rejecting these things outright. Okay. Because you want to be living a better life in 2020. Obviously, you all know that. Appreciate you staying with me. It's 25 minutes, so I'm going to make a move, okay? But I want you all to take care. By all means, have a look at that link. Anything else you want, just let me know. If you also would like to tell me how to end this live video, I have no idea. Oh, bottom right corner. All right. Appreciate you watching, guys. Any questions, just whack them down in the comments and I'll answer them after this. Really appreciate it. Take care. I want to end it. Thank you.